moment of silence because I got ghosted by a 5'8" man. So this guy was super adamant on taking me out on a date, which I was like, all right, let's go, I guess. I'm not really in the mindset of dating anybody, but I was like, let's just see how it goes. I went on the date and I could tell that he was super nervous, which was kind of cute. I was also really nervous because this was my first date after a long-term relationship, and I was like, I don't even know why I'm here, really. After the date, he walked me back to where my friends were. He was like, I would love to do this again. I would love to take you to Carbone. I was like, all right, let's go to Carbone. Like, I'm down. When I got home and I was thinking, I'm like, I don't really like this guy. Like, we're not on the same vibe. He's really nice, but like, I wasn't like in love with him, which I did not want to be. So honestly, at the end of the day, it worked out for me. After, he was like, I had a really great time, and he just never answered my text. Kind of wanted some feedback. Like, what did I do wrong? Like, did I say something wrong? Like, I don't know. I was just kind of like bugging a little bit, even though I was gonna ghost him. Literally did not care at all because, like I said, I was gonna ghost him anyways. I just didn't really feel like we were vibing. A month goes by and I'm at a bar in Hoboken. The bar was super packed because there was a football game playing, and I accidentally bumped into this person. And I turn around and it was him. You will literally not believe what he said to me. Part 2. So I turn around and it was him, and literally off the bat, I'm like, oh my god, what do I even say? Because this is kind of awkward. I was like, hey, oh my god, how are you? And he was like, literally off the rip, he's like, hey, I'm really sorry that I ghosted you. Like, I've just been so busy with work, yada, yada, yada. Like, I was just standing there, I was like, I already knew how I was gonna play it because I thought about this scenario because he lives in Hoboken. I was gonna play it like the chill girl. After he finished his spiel, I literally was like, yeah, no, don't worry about it. I honestly didn't even notice. He was really, really drunk, and he basically was just like, whatever you want from the bar. Like, I have a tab under my name. Like, get whatever you want. Like, I feel so bad. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, I already have a drink. Like, don't even worry about it. In the midst of him rambling, his friend, who was 6'2", walks over, pushes the kid aside, and says, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. Like, literally right in front of him. I'm like, hi, like, nice to meet you. His friend goes, you are literally so gorgeous. You just have the most perfect eyes. And I was like, oh my god, thank you. Right in front of the kid that ghosted me. I was like, this is like the revenge that I needed. Ghoster then steps in front of said friend and says, don't talk to him. He's really weird. And I was like, I think your friend has a little crush on me. I got pulled away by one of my other friends, and I heard him say to the friend that tried to talk to me, he said, don't talk to Elisa, that's not cool. Like, hello, you're the one that ghosted me. Like, what? Guys are so weird.
So this woman just told us that she didn't want to have anything to do with the dude, right? He's 5'8". I really don't like him. It's not going to work out. And then she gets mad simultaneously when he decides, I had a good time, but I don't think I want to talk to her either, and just doesn't text back. Can we say that he should have texted her back? Maybe. But it should work out for you, as you've told us, because you didn't want to talk to him either. You didn't want to date him either. You didn't want to be around him either. So why does it matter? It matters because modern women always want validation. They always want to be able to have the upper hand. This is the type of thing that men are walking away from. Why can't I get a man to approach me? Why can't I get a man to want to be around me, to want to court me, to want to pursue me? It's because you have an attitude like this. Why do I keep on running into all these trash men? Why can't I find the good men? Where are all the good guys at? Away from you, because this is toxic behavior. And I think that you know that. What's toxic about it? You decide that you don't want the man mutually decides that he doesn't want you. Should he have communicated? Maybe. But he did communicate, letting you clearly know, I don't want you. You said it's fine if he doesn't communicate with me because I don't want him either. So you should never want to hear from him again. But you do because you want to get a chance to reject. Hey, I had a good time. I had a great night. But, I just really don't think that you and I are going to work out. That's what you wanted. And so now, because you're so deranged and delusional in your thought process, you bump into him in a bar and you've been thinking about it. How pathetic is that to be thinking about something in a scenario with somebody that you don't even like? And you meet this man and now you're like, oh, now I want to be a villain. What? You don't even like the guy. Oh, and his friend came up to me. That's the revenge I needed. Why are you still stuck on that guy instead of finding somebody else? Think about it. Would you really even, if they're friends, would you really always want to see that guy? Why? For what? Why would you want to come in contact with that guy again? Modern women are delusional. They want to reject the guy before the guy rejects them. It's the same concept that you see on a dating show called The Button, where sometimes these women start rejecting men before the men reject them. Men that are way out of their league, men that are a lot more good looking, I should say, without going too far. The man looks good. They don't think that they look good. And when the button lights up, then they say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and reject him before he rejects me. And there have been some women on that show that have said that. I'm going to go ahead and reject this man before he rejects me because I don't want to feel icky like that. This is you. You wanted to reject him before he rejected you so you wouldn't feel icky. Get a grip on life, man.
The problem with the dating world is everyone thinks there's a better option somewhere else. So you start dating someone, but then you're also going on dates with someone else and you're also texting another person just in case the person you like falls through. Because it's happened so many times. The ghosting culture is now like the norm and people are not afraid to just stop talking to you. People are not afraid to have like multiple people they're dating and they're also okay with never finding a real long-term relationship. The data is showing that people are getting married much later. Everyone I talk to on my one-on-one sessions are saying they've met their person on the dating apps. Whenever I post a video on how to date without the dating apps, everyone in the comments are saying, I don't want to go outside and talk to a stranger. I don't even want to leave my house. So I think all these things together are contributing to the fact that the dating world is a mess. Now, if you want to get out of this mess, if you want to find your person, this is something that my boyfriend told me that he did that kind of shifted his thinking when it came to relationships. Because in the past, if you just keep finding the same type of person over and over again, you fall in love, it's really good, you want to see them all the time, you're vibing, all the things are great. And then all of a sudden, either they're seeing someone else or you feel jealous or threatened because they have a friend that's a threat to you. Like if you're dating a girl, now all of a sudden her best friend is a guy and she's going on a date with him and you're like, wait a second, this feels like a threat to me, or vice versa, the genders, you get what I'm saying. And so I think a lot of people, and myself included, this is me for a very long time, I was always afraid to be super honest with the person I was seeing, like, yes, I want to be with you. I don't want to see anyone else. Like when you have that conversation of I'm deleting the dating apps, you're basically saying like, you are it. I'm not going to see other options. I like you and I like being with you. And that's that. Being able to have that conversation, you have to be vulnerable and kind of put yourself on the line. And if the other person doesn't have this fear of maybe there's something else out there, then you're kind of left in the dark. And now all of a sudden you don't have a partner and you've deleted the dating app. So you have to start all over from the beginning. It's a terrible thing. So this is the mindset shift that really helped my boyfriend. So for all the guys out there, this could be helpful for you. Number one, stop being attracted to people that bring out your insecurities and make you fight for attention, make you fight for validation, make you fight for love.
Solid point. I think a lot of men get, I don't know if it's confused, but I think a lot of men allow things to go on way too long when the goal should be to try to find somebody that helps you with some of your insecurities. Now, I don't think that you should you should be walking around like with a whole bunch of insecurities and a whole bunch of problems, and you'd be like, "Oh, she's gonna help me figure it out." you gotta work that out as a man, right? But I think too many times there's fears and concerns that men have in modern dating in the modern dating world, but nobody seems to want to help with that. Too many times a man has to invest. Too many times a man has to validate. Too many times a man has to help women out with whatever they must be going through, they might be going through, to help them understand that he is in fact interested. But there's no reciprocity on the other side that says, no, as a man, you are going the right way. As a man, I am very much interested in you. I do want you to be the leader. I do want you to step out in faith and confidence and maybe buy me those flowers, or maybe take me on this place, even though you're not sure that I'm going to like it. Maybe I don't like it, but maybe I like being with you. And maybe I like the experience of us being together, trying something new. Instead, in a situation like that, what a man would get was, you don't know me enough. Why would you even take me here? Instead of just being like, man, this was a disaster. I would never, man, we went one time because that's what couples do now. You hear these older couples, man, your daddy took me somewhere and da 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 da, this and that. And we had the worst time of our lives. But they both experienced it. It wasn't funny then. But now that years have passed, it's like, well, it wasn't the best thing, but we went through it together and it made us stronger together because we now know for sure that's not where either one of us want to be. Or maybe, yeah, he really liked it, but he saw the look on my face and he knows if there's one thing that I don't like, it's that. And we never went back again. And it's this vice versa for your dad, because I know there's some things that he hates that I love that I'm not going to be doing because he doesn't like it. Reciprocity, understanding his feelings and going along with that. Modern women don't do that enough.
The insecurities deep down are making you feel like you are just unlovable, you're never good enough, etc. So the first step is finding people that don't bring out those insecurities in you, that don't trigger you, that don't make you feel like you're unlovable, like you're not good enough, like you have to fight for their attention and love and all those things. Find someone that doesn't make you feel that way. And then the second step is when you do find someone that does make you feel good and doesn't trigger you in those ways, make sure your partner knows that they are yours. One thing that I really loved about my boyfriend, like early on, was he made me feel super, super secure. He would tell me, "You are mine. I'm not going anywhere." And that brought me so much peace and reassurance because I was like, oh, okay, he doesn't want to play games either. I never wanted to play games. He didn't want to play games. So it just made sense to say, like, I'm not going anywhere. You are mine. And just to hear those words, my anxiety like went down. I was like, oh, okay. Obviously, I was still getting to know him, but it was like, okay, this made me feel really good and really safe and secure. So maybe that's something you can try. I know it's not easy to say, but the thing is, if you look at it like this, if you tell someone like, you are mine, I'm not going anywhere, and you're being vulnerable and they feel safe with you, then you found a great relationship. But if you tell someone that and they're just like, oh, okay, I just don't know if I feel that way, or you read their body language and they're kind of like closed off or like moving around a lot because they're uncomfortable, then you kind of know like they don't want to be in one place. They're not ready for a committed relationship. And the thing is, that's okay. Like some people just are not ready. They're just not ready. And that's that. You can't force someone to love you. You can't force someone to be with you or be in a long-term relationship with you. You can't. And like, obviously you know that. But when you are super very honest in the beginning of the relationship, you save yourself so much time later on because you know that this person is in it for the long run or has the same goals as you. That's also a mistake I made many times dating. Like I would be like, oh, I'm just going with the flow, or like, oh, I'm looking for a relationship. But like, what does that mean? If I just said, I'm looking for a long-term relationship, a steady, secure relationship with no games, just saying that early on and just reading the body language from the person I was sitting across the table from or just getting to know, that would have been like the best statement to make, and just asking another person, like, what are you looking for? Because you can tell a lot by just reading someone's body language and also like hearing their response.
Once again, I like to break down a lot. I agree with it a lot because it's a more thought-based approach to dating, right? You can have fun, you can do all of those things, but a lot of modern women depend on, oh, it's a spark. It's got to have a spark. Oh, I didn't feel the butterflies bubbling up or whatever it was, right? They depend on that, but they don't really sit down on the questions that they ask. They don't really like anchor and hammer down on, okay, what do I actually want? What do I actually need? What questions do I need to be asking to get that? If you want marriage or a long-term relationship, what are some questions that you can ask? Don't know where to start? Ask a couple that's been married for a long, long time. Okay, so how are you making your marriage successful? What do you do? Oh, I'm just here. I hate it. No, we don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear from the people that know what they're doing and they're successful. Because you can go out there and ask a rich person, well, what is it that you do to, how do you get all this money? How are you rich? How do I do that? You don't want to be rich. You don't want to be in this world. You just stay broke. Just stay with your money. Most of us gonna be like, I don't need to talk to you. I'm gonna go talk to the person that knows how to get rich and enjoy their wealth, how to get all of that money, how to make it impact, knows how to manage all parts of their life so that they can be happy. I'm gonna go talk to them. I don't want to be rich and miserable. I want to be rich and happy. I'm not looking to just get rich, buy a car, and then try to stone on everybody. I'm looking to get rich, have money, have the family, all that other stuff that comes with being quote unquote wealthy. I don't want just the money component. I want to be happy with my money. So I'm going to ask you to kindly please step out the way. And I'm going to ask somebody that knows what they're doing and is happy about doing it. Right. And so you kind of have to take that same approach with dating and relationships. I'm not looking for the people who are unhappy going the direction that I'm going. I'm looking for the people who have figured out a way to be happy in their situation, who have figured out a way to work together as a team, and they're willing to share that with me.
Why is this world freaking revolved around dating and 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 dating? I don't care! Really? You don't need to be dating that much. No way you're that bored. We need to start playing outside again.
I just feel like as a man, my man specifically, why would you date anyone before me? Why would you do that? Like, why? Like, why would you do that?
Serious conversation here. What should a girl do if she sees a guy? I just saw a guy in the train and he was so handsome. And he's looking at me, I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, I'm looking at him. And it's like my stop is about to happen anytime soon. And I didn't know what to do because I thought, okay, maybe I should just give him my card, but then I didn't have my wallet with me. So it's like I like my card with my information. And then I'm like, the point is that I get how you guys get nervous because I could never. I decided to let that man go instead of me going up to him and saying, let me give you my number. Do I have to start carrying cards so I can just give my card and dip? Anyways, give me some advice.
Well, start with body language. What was that like? Were you open to it? Did you have a smile on your face? Did you maybe say hi to him? I know you don't know him, but if you guys are in a public place, in general, a place where a lot of people are, a common area, maybe he doesn't feel comfortable because modern women have said, don't approach me in any situation. And so now modern women don't understand that they've filtered out the vast majority of dudes that would approach. And to get around them feeling bad for doing this, they just say, well, the man that's for me is going to approach me, until they get approached by the man that they don't want. We say, well, this is who is for you, because you said the man that feels confident enough to approach the real man, he's going to approach, and he did. But it turns out you don't want him. So what's the issue? So I'd probably say start with your body language. If you say, hey, man, I got my body language, it's X, Y, and Z, it's fully open, I was making sure of that, but they still didn't approach, maybe they weren't interested. But I can say right now, looks to be a very beautiful woman. So not sure that you're going to have a huge amount of trouble. And I do understand that there's a lot of women out there that do have trouble with men approaching. I get it. Even though they're pretty, I get it. But yeah, at this point in time, with everything going on, I would say a lot of times you have to make it abundantly clear that you're interested in this guy approaching you.
I chose the good guy. I chose the nice guy. I chose the not so physically attractive guy. I chose the nerd, right? I did all the things. I got tested. He got tested. We shared results. We didn't have sex until after being in a relationship. And still I'm being told that I need to take accountability for the fact that I didn't know that man was married. I'm glad that this conversation actually exists outside of my personal drama, because often women are told that they need to be held accountable or take accountability for the decisions they make in romantic partnerships. I did not know the man was married. I found out he was married. I broke up with him. Beyond that, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to be held accountable for that decision that I made to date a man who I did not know was married? What people are telling me, I should have ran a background check. He should have been honest. Let's start there. But y'all do the same thing with like single mothers. Like, y'all need to take accountability for the men you choose to have kids with. Okay, if we have the kids with the man leaves us, we're raising the kid on our own. What does accountability look like? Can you explain it to me, please?
I think what I'm personally looking for here, and I think why people are saying you probably need to take accountability, is I'm looking for questions. Like, oh, what was he like? I'm looking to understand, what was he like? All you're really saying was he was a good guy. Okay, what makes him a good guy? Oh, he was nice. Okay, what makes him nice? What is it about him that makes him nice? What is it about him that makes him good? Too many times modern women stop at, oh, he seems nice. Oh, he seems like a good guy. But they don't really ask any questions. Oh, he paid for this or he did that. Okay, great. Fantastic. What kind of dude is he? Does he have any integrity that you know of? We can all be conned into something, but it does not seem like you've been asking any questions. That I'm not hearing you ask any questions like, man, we went here and did this or whatever. I'm just hearing, well, I thought he was a nice guy. I liked him. Nice by whose standards? By yours? What do you consider nice? Why is that relevant? Because a lot of modern women consider a man planning a date, taking them on the date and paying the entire bill is nice. He's a nice guy. He's a good guy. Yeah, he's a gentleman. He's a good guy. But what is his character like? That's what you need to start figuring out instead of getting mad and upset. And how was I supposed to know he's married? Great. He scammed you. But with that type of mindset, you're probably going to run into the same person over and over again because you're not taking any accountability. This person is saying there's no way you can't know. It's impossible, literally impossible. But that said, I would still take accountability if I got fooled, because if not me being accountable for my life, then who? That's essentially what they're saying. If I continue to allow these types of people into my life, then people are always going to be fooling me. That's what that person's trying to say to you. Maybe this person got over on you, but at the end of the day, you have to say to yourself, dang, I'm going to stop that again in a healthy way. Oh, I ain't going to talk to no man. All men are trash. No, don't do that. How are you going to get in a situation to where you can say, let me ask this and make sure, there's a checklist of things that I need to ask to make sure that this man has good character. And that doesn't necessarily include, do you have a six pack? Are you 6 feet? 6 figures, make that? You got a trust fund that I can have when you pass away from this life? You might want to ask some other things in order to get a sense of who he is.
Honestly, you're so mature. It's actually embarrassing.
Watch how this guy handled the situation when being called immature.
All right, cool. But
Next.
so,
Anything next?
I know.
Hey, come on, man.
I haven't been second choice like 3 times, innit? So
That is.
Did you hear what you just said? What? You said that again. What did he say? Go on, what? Jess, what did he say? Go on, say it. Go on. Go on, say it.
Raising your voice while in an argument is a sign of losing your cool. And watch how this guy never loses it.
I said you're the one who's been second choice like 3 times, innit?
Let's see for you, Kieran, generally.
You wish.
But the thing is, it's tit for tat. People give it, people take it. So it is what it is. You give it, you got to be able to take it. Sometimes people say things that aren't very nice.
When a man shows no emotions, sometimes it can be his greatest tool to show that he has moved on. And just like that, she leaves the stage.
Well, I'm glad one of the other ladies got it. You give it, you got to be able to take it. You went out there and you ran your mouth. And even though his response was, it hit, you said something trying to tear him down in front of people. And not only in front of people, but you try to tear him down in front of a public audience, in front of probably hundreds of thousands of people, probably millions of people watching. Modern women always think that they can get away with bad behavior. They always think that they can get away with disrespect. And this is good for him, because this is a way to show you sometimes you need to keep your mouth shut. Period. You want to cry, you want to let the tears flow because a man said you're always a second option. 3 times people have chosen you second. You'll never be first. You want to get mad and you want to cry about that and you want to walk off the show and be in your feelings. What you're expecting is somebody to track you down and comfort you and hold you. He should have never said that to you. Or better yet, these modern women are so toxic. They're expecting that man, that very man that just insulted you, to walk back behind you and say, oh, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Come on TV, make a public apology and all that other nonsense. But they're not going to get on TV and apologize for the things that they said. It's always the man that's wrong. It's always the man that has to come back and cover all of this nonsense. You get to act disrespectfully. You get to say whatever you want to say. But should the man fight back, quote unquote, figuratively speaking, all of a sudden it's a problem. All of a sudden I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here no more.